goosebumps every time.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, we played the one-on-one conversation with Travis Scott and Charlamagne, and he talked about a lot. He talked about Astro Festival and what went down and his feelings and what he wants to do moving on. But we want to take some calls from you. So 800-585-1051. Hello, who's this?
Yo, this Ghost, man.
Ghost, what's up, bro? What are your thoughts after hearing that interview?
Peace, Ghost.
Yeah, man. What up, y'all guys? Yeah, man. Trav, I know Trav. I went by his house after the incident. And as far as the interview is concerned, I understand because as an artist, we know the process. We know how promoters and other people are involved. We know where the liability lies. We know that basically we're almost a hired performer. So Trav, I feel was very transparent, and he did what nobody expected him to do, and probably most people wouldn't have wanted him to do, which is talk right now. But I think it was a good interview based on what I heard. They definitely didn't want him to. Exactly. I'm telling you, like I said, I went by his house about a week after that, man. He just was standing there looking like, wow, what's happening here. But I'm
how do you know Travis Scott? How wait a minute, Ghost, how are you able just to go by Travis Scott's house?
I live in Houston, bro. I'm a music producer.
Oh, got you.
I live in the city, so I'm not one of them cats that everybody know about, but behind the scenes, I do what I do. Well,
thank you for calling, brother.
Word.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Gia. How are you?
Hey, Gia, how are you?
I'm good.
Just gonna steal my wife's name, huh? Just gonna steal my wife's name, huh?
It's so funny. My name is Gia Marie, and when I listen to you guys and you say Gia, it's like an eerie moment. It's like, oh my gosh, because it's not a common name.
Correct.
But I live in Houston. I've been here for 12 years now, and I just, after hearing about the tragedy, I wanted to dissect it. At first, I wanted to understand where Travis is coming from. It's very challenging, especially when someone's sitting in front of you asking questions, right? For you to really get in touch with all of your emotions, to have the correct words to make people feel at ease, or so that they know you're incorporating emotional intelligence, or just so many emotions that he's feeling right now. I think that he did a really good job in expressing himself in the moment. Probably after the interview, he thought of saying a lot of things more, as we all do. But in speaking of the tragedy, Charlamagne hit it. There's so many variables. You really can't pinpoint anything. So many things went wrong, from the people that went to the performers, and it's a teaching moment. Now, we all want to be proactive as opposed to reactive, and as humans, that's not always the case. I believe that going forward, it will create this is something that will be a teachable moment, as I stated, and going forward, they will try to look at other things. But I do want to say something lastly. I have one kid at home, my last kid that's going to go through college, and she loves Travis Scott, right? And she wanted to go to the concert. So as a parent, I'm not putting any other parent down. I know there was an 8-year-old at the. I can't tell any parent what to do. All I ask is that going forward, you understand the type of concert that he gives. Do your research. It's upbeat tempo throughout the entire concert. He doesn't have someone in the middle of the concert come sing a ballad, right, to minimize the energy. That doesn't happen. It's upbeat tempo. There's fire going. Everyone's emotions are going. You have to take into is someone popping a molly before they go. What is going to be the interaction? I also took in consideration, okay, let's see the venue. How many does the venue hold? They're not going to have seats. They're going to be standing up. When they said that the venue was sold out, to me, that meant it was oversold, right? So I took all of that, and I told my daughter, you can't go. I just don't think it's a situation where if something happens, I'm going to be very concerned. And that's what you have to think about. I'm not saying that you take those variables and say, hey, don't go to his concert, because he's not always sold out. The venue may be bigger. It may be a different dynamic. I don't know. But you have to consider that when you let your young person go who's in high school or younger than that. You have to do things differently, make better decisions when it comes to those young people. Not tarnishing any parent. I'm just saying that's the choice that I made when it came to my daughter wanting to go to the concert. And the other thing is in being proactive. Lastly, one of the parents who was at the hotel across the street, he said he told his son, when you go on the concert, the Bible says, peace be still. When you go on the concert and things start going awry, find you a place somewhere and just sit. Now, that young man sit for 2 hours until he was able to walk outside. Now, panic is an emotion. If it wasn't a emotion, it wouldn't be in the dictionary, right? We know that when you panic, you're not thinking clearly, you're acting irrationally, and things can happen as a result of that. So there's a lot of panic and paranoia. All of that happened. We know that. But I do believe also.
Yeah, it's I with you. It's easy to say all of that.
There's a lot of people on the line too.
Though.
Thank you, Mama.
Yeah,
but
and you're dealing with young kids, man.
Now, if you just joined us, we played a interview, a one-on-one conversation with Charlamagne and Travis Scott, and we're just taking your calls, getting your feedback on it, and what you guys' thoughts. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
Hey, man, it's Steven.
Hey, what's up, Steven? What were your thoughts, brother?
Man, so first of all, I got to say I love listening to y'all. My girlfriend and I, we enjoy listening to y'all every single morning, but I just want to say that real quick. So, but I sat there and I listened to the whole thing, man, and I've been listening to it since, like, it first happened, and it just listening to Charlamagne's conversation with him, I know it's hard to convey true feelings with something like that, but it just didn't sound like true, genuine, like he was beating around the bush with a lot of answers. I felt like he was avoiding some questions, and there were a lot of times where he just kept kind of repeating the same thing for different questions, and you don't want to take full responsibility for something like this. No one does. But common sense as an adult, you know what I'm saying, we know true, right, from wrong. We know when we have a certain level of responsibility for something that's occurred. Even if you don't say, yeah, I take full responsibility, you can simply acknowledge the fact that, yeah, I feel like there was something that I could have done. Because no, you can't control that many people. But you have to understand that you are the center of attention. People are going to follow the energy that you are putting off. So even if you're talking about the energy,
you don't think he expressed that though?
I feel like he did, but he didn't. Like even when you ask him, like, don't you think that your music itself kind of gives this message, like it incites this type of behavior? And he says no, but when you look at the lyrics and his past concerts, like this is the first one that this right here has specifically all these deaths, but it's not the first one where there was an overcrowd of people and the crowd was just, not able to be contained. And yeah, there are concerts that are a lot bigger than his, but I'm more than sure that those can be delegated and, just kind of, it can be managed. Anyone can manage it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like a lot of it was he was just beating around the bush with a lot of things.
Well, thank you for your opinion. We got a lot of people on the line. We got a lot of people to get to, but thank you so much, brother. Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Remy from Houston.
Hey, Remy, what are your thoughts, mama?
I would say as a person who was at the concert, I forgive Travis with my whole heart. Being there, we had no clue that people around us were dying. And, leaving the concert, I had survivor's remorse because I felt so bad that I had a good time. And people, like these babies around me, were dying. And so, as a community, I think that this is going to strengthen us. But Travis should not be solely at fault because, it was wild out there. It was crazy. And at some point, you have to be responsible for yourself. And these kids, they were out of control. That's all I have to say. We were in the center of the crowd. And it was okay, we got to get out. This is we formed a human chain to get out because I knew I felt imminent danger. So, it's about self-responsibility, self-control. And, my heart and prayers go out to the family and just to the Houston community as a whole.
Thank you so much.
Dang.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, Nicole.
Nicole, what were your thoughts?
So, I feel like that we should not be putting all the blame on Travis Scott. As an artist, there's only so much that he can do in that situation, and I get that he's the face and the image of it for it, but there's only so much that we can blame him for. But one thing I'm really concerned about is the narrative around his music being demonic or these events being satanic. The whole, premises of doing rage music that him, Uzi, XXXTentacion, Juice WRLD, it was about therapy. It was about getting out certain emotions that they weren't allowed to get out in the natural public, in the world. So they come to these events, they come to these festivals, they yell, they scream, they cry, they wail their arms. But it's never an event to promote, hey, go punch this person, go fight, let's go do this. It's really a rage of getting out emotions. And if you go through therapy, which Travis Scott does, he'll tell you themselves, they'll say, get out those emotions, be vocal, give it sound, and that's what that whole rage concept is about. So this whole narrative that it's demonic or satanic when it's actually the complete opposite. And I feel like that's kind of making this situation way worse from him when you have people saying, oh, it's an Illuminati, he was, killing off people, or it's none of that at all. I think we have to be realistic.
How old are you, Queen, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 30.
Because I grew up, of course there was heavy metal and rock and roll, but I grew up on crunk, with 3 6 Mafia and Little John. I do remember people saying, that about 3 6 Mafia. I think it was more so because of their name, the 3 6s. Yep. But to your point, yeah, that's the kind of music and energy we grew up on. We didn't label it demonic and satanic. Though maybe the adults around us did. I don't know. That's why I wanted to ask you.
Well, thank you for calling, Mama.
Same with emo music. I mean, it's hip hop emo. If anything, I mean, it's the emotional. It's a way for these young black men to get out certain emotions and feelings. It's the same with drill music. It's all the same. But we can't place that blame on Travis at all.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. All right. Well, if you want to see the full interview, you can check that out on what's your YouTube page, Charlamagne?
At Seed of God, CTHA GOD. And once again, sending definite healing energy and condolences to the family who lost loved ones on November 5th at Astroworld. But yeah. I think Travis expressed himself the best way he could, due to the circumstances of the situation.
All right. And shout out to everybody. I mean, there was so many people on the line, and we had to cut a lot of people off because so many people wanted to talk. We just appreciate you guys for checking in, especially for people that actually went to the show that have to relive this over and over and over again every time somebody talks about it. So just want to say thankful, and we're grateful that you guys checked in. All right. Now, coming up next, we got your rumor report.
I'm sure the conversation will keep going. It's already going on social media. So, we're here the rest of the week.